Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here in my lab. What I do for you. I'm hitting the books today because I got something good for you. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission. Yeah, that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this. Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know, they spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my yacht. Be true. Speaking of my yacht, I've been giving you lessons. We're in the book. We're on page 125. We got maybe 25 more pages left. Maybe a week worth of lessons, but let's do what we do. We're doing good. This title, Right Thinkers, let's talk about hymns to Ra and its philosophical principles. I hear the young boys say, I stand on business. I'm on business. I'm about the business. When I was coming up in the game, it was all about rules and principles. Why? You set them, you live by them, and if you break them, there's a punishment. That's why. And same thing in principle. All you gotta do is live by them, stand on them. That's what I do. You can do it too, but you have to set your own. Mine is mine. You set yours. That's all. And stand on it. Live by it. Own it. Okay? Moving on. So let's go now. This is what we call a diary back in the day. This is a declaration to God. I told you, once you pass the scales in my yacht, your name changed to SRP Funk. Now, I'm SRP Funk, thinking right, at www.gmail.com, whatever, but yet, my first name goes to SR, and that's for male or female, okay? So watch this. We're going to talk about, I'm going to read you the following hymn. It's from the Pert M. Haru, or the Book of Enlightenment. They called it dead because it was then people's coffin, grave robbers, but it's the book of coming forth by day, aka enlightenment, for a purpose. And from our ancient commission, Anuian theology, and following its teaching, watch this, it is what possible to derive, pay attention right here, it's possible to derive great wisdom and mystical insight into what? The nature of who? Ra, and the concept of the Anuian theology. What they thought, how they felt, and why they felt. They was dedicated to the higher self. They understood it perfectly. Okay? We having issues with that. So I went back and found the secrets. Hidden pyramids. I got them. So let's go. But this is a hymn to Ra. And every time you hear me stop, because they're going to say, behold, Asar, like you write in the letter and filling in the blanks, your name goes here. Okay, this is how it look. It says, behold, Asar P Funk. And now I'm declarating, and every time you get to what I'm speaking, you see the P, and that's the thing that you're going to declare. Okay, that's the difference. When you honestly pray, because you want something, and it's honest. Be honest in your actions. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. That's what makes the difference. Why? Because that's what gets recognized. Watch this. I'm going to make a point right here through this declaration. Behold, Asar P-Funk is bringing divine offerings, meaning my heartfelt concepts of all the gods and goddesses. Asar P-Funk speaks this. Homage to thee, who comes in the form of Kepri. Remember sky-haired beetle? That's the sunrise. That's what they recognize as God. Watch this. Kepri, the creator of the gods and the goddesses. You rise and shine. That's that thing up in the sky, illuminating your mother, who was what? The goddess Nut, representing the sky, and you crowned as king of the gods and goddesses, meaning he got control. Your mother, Nut, worships you with what? Her two arms. What's the two arms? To receive you. The western horizon receives you in peace. The two arms is she embraces what? The double lions. In this time, they was in the age of Leo. So they built the Sphinx to face. The Sphinx is facing east. Why? Because the sunrise. The other Sphinx is facing west at sunset. So you got terrestrial and celestial, meaning earth and heaven combined together. That's the cord that keeps us what? Spiritual. That's the God connection. And they use lions to do it. Why? You the zodiac. They only had to build one Sphinx. Everybody looking for the second Sphinx. It ain't nothing. It's in the zodiac. How many people told you that? That's the difference. Okay. I'm enlightening you. That's my job. That's what I do for you. And you rise and shine by doing illuminating. Okay, we did it. Your mother Nut worshiped with two arms. Okay, now the western horizon is where the celestial Sphinx sees. Okay, and he sees your mother Nut. Watch this. Excuse me. And the western horizon receives you. Only if you pass the scales of mind, you make it to Manu, which is the western part, and they bury everybody in the west. Watch this. And you received in peace, and guess who? Maya. They respected her that much. She embraces you at the double season. She got you at sunrise. She got you at sunset. That's the concept. And she what represents? Balance and duality. Hope you're enjoying the lesson. Now, give Asar. What's this? Now they're saying, give Asar, which is you, speaking for yourself, me speaking for me. Asar P-Funk giving what? Glorious spirit being what? And spiritual strength. How? Through righteous speaking and living, a.k.a. Makaru. Self-service. And grant the ability to come forth in what? In a living soul, so that Asar P-Funk may see who? Haru of the two horizons. Meaning you have to go there, what? In the heavens to see the other one. Here, physical earth is one, and the celestial is in heaven where the physical body don't go. The physical body stays here. The Sphinx is still here. 10,000 years ago, it was here. The celestial Sphinx is long gone. But guess what? He'll be back, and we won't be here to see it, but that's how it goes. Moving on, I hope you get the concept. I just learned that, so I'll just keep, every chance I get, throwing it up in there. Wow, that's knowledge you should have. Knowledge, things you should have knowledge of. And you see what? Haru of the two horizons mean you see both Sphinxes. Now, if I did this a week ago, I wouldn't have that information. Matter of fact, I ain't doing it, but I just got some newfound information. I just love showing it off, so I'm giving it to you. Now that I know it, you should know it too. And watch this. You see the Sphinx in two horizons, and you grant to what? His Ka. Your Ka is your soul. Your spirit is your Ba. The spirit is what goes back. Okay, your soul is what's here, and it stays here until what? It get the ability to catch up with the Ba and go back too. But it says, give the Ka, which is my soul, spirit, my soul of what? Asar P-Funk. Why? Because who is a righteous of speech, Makaru, in the presence of who? Asar, the divine self. Remember I showed you a picture? You got Asar, look at Asar. That's the concept. Two lions, physical and celestial, spiritual and physical, and the matter and spirit, come together, make physical. But they're showing you it's a duality that's in you. You have to understand that. So now Asar P. Funk says what? Hail to all the gods and goddesses you praise. Weighers of what? Of the house of the soul, aka Mayate, the hall of justice, where you had to go to get your heart weighed. Okay? And in heaven and on earth by means of the scales of Mayat. Boy, I love that. And remember, everybody say God created heaven and earth. For you Bible thumpers, y'all got it backwards. Earth was first, then heaven. The male aspect came, and then the female, which is heaven, which is new, which we can't heard the concept of heaven. That's why the female is on top. So you got some concepts or some history. Get it right. If you're going to have it, get the right one. I'm giving you the original concept, the origins of all the stuff that you claim to know or believe in. I already know that. Trust me. Moving on. But you give hail to all the gods and goddesses, the weighers of the scales of Mayat, who are what? They are the real givers of life, force, and sustenance. These are all aspects and characters that we manifest for ourselves. They're not real people. Tahuti ain't a real person. Hint, hint. Anunnakis. Moving on. Now, Tatunin, one maker of men and women. We know him as Kunum. As well as what? The company of gods and goddesses. And the goddess of what? The south. In Egypt, south is that way. North is that way. Moving on. So when you hear south, that's going to be upper. North is lower. Okay? So you got south and north. And you even got east and west. In essence, all the Neteru grant praise to who? Ra, the Lord of heaven and sovereign of life, fertility and health, the maker of the god and goddesses. They had a God concept understanding that it was just one. Adoration. Okay, dua. Adoration to who? To thee in your form as what? All goodness. God is divine. Mayat represents everything that's divine. Orderly, justice, reciprocity, that's all goodness. And you raise what? You raise in your boat. I showed you the celestial boat. You got a few names of them, you got a few of them. Watch this. But the best one, I'll get to that one. But I love this. Now, the beings that's up high raise thee. That means even the gods praise thee. And the beings in the lower realms also praise thee. Tahuti, the ibis-headed bird, that is the concept that we constructed to teach as a philosophical concept, a mythology, not a real person, never been the king of nowhere. It's always been the concept. And his buddy, Mayat, okay, not his consort is Sashet. So Mayat is a single entity that represents principle that we live by. And Tahuti is God's concept of his mind and his heart as one. That's why he got representation on every level. The Romans call him Mercury. The Greeks call him Thoth. Some people call him twice Thoth. Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great, and don't even know why they got the name or why they use it. Again, misinterpretation of information. Swear they got something. That's what a thief do. But Tahuti and Mayat have written for thee. They control nature and the order of things, who are shining, which is the sun, forth when daily. Your enemies, watch this. I hear talking about the lake of fire. Oh, I'm going to go to the lake of fire. Your enemies are put in the lake of fire. We know about that too. Excuse me. They're called fiends. How about that? Are put down. And their arms and legs are being what? Bound securely for who? For Ra. Why? Because the children who are weak and disrespectful are insurrectionists, and they shall not continue. You're going to be bound to earth until you what? Get it right, respect him, understand him, and then know him for yourself. That's the ticket back home. That's the key to life. Who's the mystery? No, it ain't. Sorry. The great house that's not built by human hands. You heard about that one? The Masons know about it. But the great house is in festival time. What? The voices of the participants are in what? The great temple. The physical body, head, house, self. God lives in his own house. The temple is up here between the two hemispheres of your brain. Hello, it is not built with human hands. Come on, y'all. The great temple and what? The God and goddesses are what? Rejoicing. That feeling you get, that bliss, that just, when it ain't physical, it's a feeling that gets to heart. When my heart gets full, I cry. Okay, the rivers start running with what? Tears of joy, gratitude, all that good stuff. Everybody reacts to that feeling different. Some of us never had that feeling. My point is, you want to have that and you need to have that. Why? To know that there's something else going on other than what you think or believe. Know for yourself. And they see Ra in what? In the glorious rising, which is the sun every day, and his beams of light piercing and inundating the lands. Without that thing in the sky, we ain't got the snowball's chance. So they respected that. They didn't say that it was God. One person did, another lesson, but yeah, they knew that it served a purpose. God's only begotten Son, S-U-N, he don't need but one. Moving on. And this exalted what? Invulnerable and God's journeys on the what? On and unites with the land of what? Manu. When the sun come up in the east, he goes across, give everybody sunshine, 12 hours, get that light. Now he got going to the underworld in the Manu in the west. Another lesson. But they knew that in the western horizon, when he go down, eastern he comes up, west he goes down. Okay? Now, in the western horizon, and what he even do now, illuminating the land of his birth. That's the underworld. That's where he go in the west every day. And it is the same time what he reaches the province where what he was yesterday. 360, 360, 360. That represented God. Boom. That dot in the middle becomes you. Moving on. I'm almost there. Ooh, I'm good timing. Now, be in peace with me. That's God telling you this is what you need to do. Why? I see your beauties and I prosper upon the land. I'll smile and I'll defeat what? The ass fiends. Uh-oh. Not the booty bandits in prison, not the diddler, but no, the ass fiend, meaning that evil person that comes out of you. That's what it means. Stubborn. Not ass, but stubborn. As well as what? All other fiends. This is what this is what the Yuja represents what? Protecting God from the fiends, his enemies who don't mean him no good. Watch this. And grant thee, I may defeat who? Apep. Apophis. That's who was destroying Ra. That's Ra's enemy. So when you got to deal with him, you ain't got snowball's chance. But he deal with Ra personally every night, right? And they fight. They have been fighting. The concept is night and day. Ra don't have no enemies when he on the day side. But when he go down in the west, oh, he got to get back. So that's the fight that he have. That's the concept that they had. Okay, where we at? And here we go. I'm wrapping it up. I'm almost there. I lost my place. Okay. He may defeat, give him the strength to defeat in Apophis in his time of strength. A snake don't come close to a cat. So the lions is the only ones who can defeat Apophis, which is the giant serpent, and give the strength and to see what? The pilot fish, watch this, of the divine boat of Ra. He travels another boat, watch this. Swing down, sweet chariot, start. Remember that. Let me ride. My favorite song by George. But it was I got a whole different concept for it. I'll give you that in a second. Which is in what? It's blessed pool. You got a lake of fire. You got a blessed pool. Always what? Two things going on. And you ought to decide, in fact, about what? Your actions. Get understanding and understand your actions will be rewarded or punished. Simple as that. And you'll see Haru in what? In the form as the guardian of the rudder of the ship that y'all had the boat. Okay, he's the one that was in control. And guess what? You got Tahuti and Mayat are upon what? His two arms. Meaning his mind and heart and his judgment on righteousness and doing what's right. Divine action is based on those two principles. And they received, am I in a pro of the mandate, another boat with Ra and his crew, and in the stern of the Misket boat, another boat. They're big on boats. And Ra gives what? Divine sight to see what? Aten, which is the sun, which is The sage Akhenaten changed and made him God, but I tuned with the glow. And even in the underworld, why it's dark. When he comes down, all of a sudden there's light down there, and the prophet's trying to shut it down. Okay, why? He in his domain. Moving on. That's the fight that between light and dark. Moving on. But they give you the ability to see Atun, view the moon, and God unceasingly win every day, and have the ability of the soul to come forth. Why? To walk to the what? Every place that they may desire in physical form. We're here to do whatever we please. Okay, you got free will. That's what that is. And now proclaim my name. Find him in wood board of the offerings, and there have been given to me offerings in the life-giving presence, like it is given to the followers of who? Right thinking philosophy, aka Haru. It is done for me in the divine place, where in the boat on the day of the sailing, when he come down through in the underworld, he had ropes hanging off. And you got souls down there who can grab on the rope, take their chances to grab the rope and get on the boat. Okay? Swing down, sweet chariot, stop, and let me ride. He just don't stop. He gonna come down. You can get on that rope, that's your chance. Okay, that's the concept. I love it. Can't forget that. I can't get out my mind. But the journey, okay, for every righteous person to God, I am received, watch this, wrapping it up, in the presence of Asar. In the land of what? Truth speaking. Speak from the heart. That's how you get there. Of who? Of Makah, which is the soul of Asar, a.k.a. P-Funk Right. I speak for myself. That's what I would do when it's time for Judgment Day. I ain't got to worry about St. Peter and all that other nonsense. All you got to do, take my heart, put on the scale. I stand accused for what I do. Can you do that? You won't have to. So start preparing. I do every day. That's why I come here and do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back with more right now. In closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100, me 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers, unless you find yourself and know yourself, you will pass away. I'll be back.